Hello, hello, it's Kim McGillis joining you live from Ontario. I was going to say Regina, but I meant to say Ontario. It is currently 12:06, running a little bit late this morning or this afternoon, wherever you are. If you're watching me live, please say hello. If you're catching the replay, please say replay. I would love to know. We've been having a fun week. Yesterday had multiple appointments, so I was not there. I didn't not go on live, but today I am, and I'm hoping to be live again at the same time tomorrow. So just gonna get sorted here. I am in my area where I always do my videos, and hopefully this will work out for us today. So I'm going to be recapping the class that we did. And also, I just want to charge. Give me a second. I have a new layout for you, but I just want to make sure that I'll have enough. Who doesn't charge their phone before they go and do a live? I don't know, that would be me today. That's where my brain is at. So let's see if I can just plug this in and then we'll get started. Here we go. I'm just like paranoid that this is not going to work out. Okay, so it is cloudy here, and that's why I went in my other area upstairs where I have a little bit more lighting. So on Monday we made this card, which was coloring with the stamping blends, which was fun. Today I'm going to show you something a little bit different. And then I talked about the little mini card on Tuesday where I like to add some color to my envelopes. So these are my babies, that's what I call them. I like to make little babies, and we did these, and then I think I did fresh freesia as well, like in a darker tone. So, and then we did this card. Somebody asked me if there was a name for it. Is there a name for it? I do not know. It was about doing and using the 6x6 cardstock for the inside to do this fun fold. So if you know the name of it, please mention it here so the person that asked me the question will know, because I don't know at all what the name is. Okay, so if Paul is watching, I should go check it on the comments here. I am doing your deboss embossing folder today. Good morning, Patty from California. Good morning, Paul from Utah. So Paul had talked about doing a card with the embossing folder, but debossed. So that's where I'm going with this. Thank you, Paul, for your suggestion. You know what? It's kind of nice sometimes to get some input. Also, if you are a Instagram follower, you might want to go and check in Stamping Through the Catalog today, because I am featured today as a designer. I almost want to hide what I made. What can I use here? But you'll want to go see there, because I have a great color challenge for you, as well as I'm using some of the products from today. So here, I'm hiding it. Go check Stamping Through the Catalog on Instagram, and I'm the featured designer. I am encouraging you to color with this beautiful color combo, or you can also use some of the products that I use to design the card. So you'll want to jump on there, put a comment if you like the card. I kind of like my theme. It includes pairs, and then my greeting was for the extraordinary couple, which I should have switched for the extraordinary pair. So you'll want to go see that. So this week I'm continuing with the Impressions of Bloom, and that's the bundle. If you want the entire suite collection with it, which I showed earlier on, you would call that the Floral Impressions. So it's a little different name. So we're going to continue with our Pretty in Pink, Fresh Freesia, as well as Greeny Apple Green as my color combo. So this piece of cardstock is 4 1/4 by 11. We're just going to go ahead and do a fold halfway mark, which is 5 1/2. There we have that. And now we're gonna take fresh freesia, and this one is 3 3/4 by 5, and it's just gonna sit here as our second layer, not the card-based part, but a second layer. So that's where that's gonna sit right there. And then if you want to pop it up with dimensionals, you are very welcome to do so. It's up to you, whatever you would like. So I like popping up my things. I don't know. Are you a big fan of dimensional users, or are you not a dimensional user? I'm obsessed. I use them a lot. I saw you were the guest designer. I saw your card. Beautiful. Yes. Thank you, Paul. Now I challenge you to go use the Ephemera packs, or maybe use this color combo, which is very summery, springy. So this is the Impression Bloom Designer Series paper that goes with the collection. I think they might call it Floral Impressions. I'm not too sure between the two. It's Thursday and I'm kind of blanking out. So many projects due. The artisans are going to be hopping a little later on Instagram as well. You could just log in to my Instagram account at 4 p.m. Eastern time. You'll see a fun hop that we're doing. My gosh, I'm sharing almost too much, right? I'm telling you too much information here. And then the designer series paper, if you're wondering the measurements, is 3 5/8 by 4 7/8. So I just wanted that slim border right around there. And then we're gonna grab this piece right here. You're probably thinking, oh my gosh, she's going so much on fresh freesia today. But this is a tiny piece. It's 4 by, let me see, 4 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4 by 2 5/8. Sorry. And this one I'm not gonna pop. I'm just gonna put it directly on. So let's just mat this right here. Quick, easy card. Now comes the Paul part. So this is the Paul part that he suggested. It's a piece of basic white cardstock that's 2.5 by 3 7/8. And I use the Pressed Flowers embossing folder that goes with the collection, the Sweet collection. And then this is the deboss side. And then on the opposite side, we have the emboss side. So today we are going with the deboss side. So thank you. So Paul is saying, hopefully with the overcast skies, the temperature is cool. It's very, very, very humid here, like crazy humid. Paul said that he just got the pear sweet. So when I made my card for stamping through the catalog, which was actually, I think, before this design, I used the pear from the Ephemera pack. So they're quite large, but that would work as well. And now we're just going to use any shape just for that deboss part. We're going to place it a little sideways. And if you were there through Celebration, we had a fresh freesia ribbon that I truly love because it has that crinkly side. If you don't have it, you could use this one that I truly love as well because it's like that felt. It's called faux velvet, so that could be an option as well. And then you could add a little piece on the inside. Either or would work for sure. And now my flowers are right here. Here they are. So all week I've been using my stamping blends to color. Today we're going to do a little bit different. I will do the green, but I'm going to still use Pretty in Pink. And I wanted a variety of tones, so this time I'm gonna use my blender pen. So I am gonna color a little bit of the flowers right here. So I don't know if you have blender pens, but I do love them because you can have that variation of colors, which is kind of fun, right? So let's add some of this. Last night we did In Color Club, and In Color Club we featured that same sweet collection. Our featured color for In Color Club was Strawberry Slush, which was fun. And then some of them deviated and added a bunch of different colors, which I don't mind. So I took out all the stamping blends. But what was gorgeous and stunning, which you might want to do if ever you do have this collection, is adding the Winka Stella on top of the petals. It was just darling. And then some of the ladies blended, they blended all the inks and the colors for their centers. So it was very, very pretty. So after I've done that, now I'm gonna go with the light pretty and pink, and I'm just gonna go and add a couple of elements to make it pop up. So it does like a watercolor look, and then you could just add that tweak of elements on the side. I'm continuing with this color combo just because for me, it's just gonna blend perfectly for a full card collection that coordinates together, but you could do this with any one of them. So now let's go with Fresh Freesia, and I'm just gonna add this on the inside. And it's okay as well to leave a little bit of white seeping through, so that's okay. So Paul is saying Cindy from SU is the one who said that the deboss side was the design intent, which is kind of fabulous. So thank you for sharing that. And I think now that you've mentioned that, Paul, I think I prefer the deboss side, like, honestly. So by the way, if ever any of you crafters are very crafty and like to post cards, you know that the Artisan Design team is looking for submissions for the 2026 group. So if ever you could apply, you have from, it was June, I'm gonna switch my dot here, 10th until June 30th. So you still have time to apply. I know many of you have reached out to me, had some questions, which hopefully I answered for you. But you will probably want to look into that. So if ever, message me. If ever you're not a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and you love designing, then you could always join as a demonstrator. If you're in Canada, you could join with me. If you're from another country, you could look at the on the demonstrator website. If you don't know any demonstrators, then you could just look at there's like a selective place where you could say, I want to find a demonstrator in my area. They don't need to be in your area, but look how this is pretty here. So cute. So now we're going to add this one on the top there. I do love the big one, but the big one, I find that it's not great for this design of a card because it's too big. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use a smaller flower or leaf. So we're going to do this, but I simply love the softness of these petals. It's like there's almost water dripping on these. So, and now we're going to take our light Fresh Freesia, and you could just blend in and pull a little bit of the color on the inside. So how fun is that? And then this one will go right here. Yeah, something like that. So I'm just going to bring this closer. Now, Garden, the light Granny Apple Green is the color that I'm going to use to color my leaves. If you want to continue with the same technique and use the blender pen, you can do that. But for myself, I am not going to do it today because I don't want that. I want that light unilateral effect. So here I am just adding. And I told everybody yesterday how this is my new go-to leaf color for the summer. Did some people yesterday use mossy? Absolutely. Like there was a bunch of different colors. I just chose to go with with this green because I just found that it blended perfectly with fresh freesia and pretty and pink. Okay, this is good. Now we're gonna take our dark greeny apple green and we're just gonna splash some color right here. So this adds a bunch of little specks. Look how cute that is. And then we're just gonna add this here. Let me take out this one. Going again, tap, 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 right this. And it's like, it works so good. So here we go. Gonna bring more of this in the lighting here. Perfect. Okay. So I'm just gonna set these aside. We're gonna start assembling our card here. But it is starting to look great. And then it's gonna coordinate with the rest and so on. So let's pop these off right here. I am gonna leave those two. I'm gonna pop this one here, add this one at the bottom. Do you have a bungalow house? I know it sounds like I'm asking personal questions, but, or a 2-story house. Well, ours with a basement, it comes out to 3 stories, but anyways, just want to say my husband really wanted that 2-story house, which we bought like this old Victorian house and changed it more like in a farmhouse type of look. And we've been renovating it for like a couple of years now. And what I wanted to say with that is because it's very humid here in Ontario, the second level, I don't know, crazy hot, like crazy hot and warm. And then the first level is like cool that you wouldn't even need air conditioning. And then we have the basement, which is like you freeze down there. So it's not fun. So sometimes I'm like, oh, we should go back to a bungalow. I think a bungalow would be easier. Hello, Evelyn from Germany. Good morning, sunny Saskatchewan. Oh, hello, Tracy. If you see my husband around, please tell him a little hello. His wife misses him tremendously, and the dog too. Okay, so I'm cheating. Look at this. So if I decide to add, so if you have in your stash the celebration leftover ribbon, you could use that. If not, use that faux felt that we have currently. That would work as well. But I just find that it brings that softness and look. And really my goal, guys, is to finish and finalize a collection with a bunch of cards. So, perfect. I just want to show you, look at this. So Paul's deboss suggestion, who we got from Cindy, and we still have to add a call while I'm doing a live, and it says possible scam. Isn't that fun? And then today, let's do a little different. I'm gonna take another greeting out. So our collection has a bunch of different ones. Here we got, thanks for being there. I appreciate you so very much. So, and then there's just the thanks. So I don't know, I just want to see what this would look like. That would be cute. I think it would, right? Let's do that. Do we have enough scrap pieces? So any big plans? Anybody registered for this weekend's event, Stampin' Up! Online event? I am. I think that's going to be my Saturday. I'll be doing that. I don't know if you are. Here we go. I appreciate you. And if you are not a lover of fussy cutting, you will not appreciate this part. Now, I'm upstairs, right? All my ink colors are downstairs. Could I have grabbed a different color or tone of purple? Absolutely, to make that greeting pop. I don't feel like I could add other black inks or anything like that, because if I did that, I think it would just remove that softness. I could have embossed with white Wow embossing powder. That could have been done for sure. If you don't want to do the fussy cutting, you could just cut a strip. You could use die cuts, so on. That would work as well. Just, and like try to go like just a little bit around so it's not like a flat surface here. So if ever you got exciting plans, I would love to know. I was telling my crafters yesterday how I do not like to go stamp in the basement alone. That's where my crafting area goes, and it goes super well because all my guests could go from the garage, so they don't need to come to our main house. But I was telling everybody how I miss my Regina space, which is a lot tinier, but conveniently, I just love the light. I love that it was on the main floor and that sort of thing. So here we go. Oh my goodness. Can you see this? It is starting to pop up and coming a little alive here. It's just beautiful. And then you could just add a bunch of different blings. Yesterday, ladies love the strawberry slush blings. They were using those because it was in color for strawberry slush. But you could use any of your blings. I have a big stash here of different types. So here we go. That's so pretty and delicate. So simple layout, but just a wow factor on its own right there. So Tracy's saying she's driving to Ontario. Wow, I would love to know where in Ontario. Like we're about an hour from Ottawa. And then Patty's saying yes, she is. So she's joining Creativity Now event. And then Paul is saying heat, air rises. If you have ceiling fans upstairs, make sure they're going counterclockwise. And no, we do not have ceiling fan. Maybe that's something that we should have, right? Now let's just find a couple of bling blings. So I have a stash of bling blings that I keep. And I'm trying to decide which one I'm going to use today. I keep them in a stamping case, but now my stamping case is getting too full of all the blings. So I'm just going to use a light pink for today. If you still have some of the leftover of the ones from Celebration, that could be fun too. I think I used my entire stash, so I won't be able to use those. So a fun, simple card today. And using different features. And then I just want to add this here so we get to see. I'm not going to pop them all out because it would be too much, but then at least we have the different layouts. And then these techniques are fun, you know, they could use the stamping blends. The blender pens are awesome because you could include, everybody gets a blender pen, so that's kind of nice as well. And then here we go for this one. Yeah, it's a very simple but cute card. I'm using all my leftover designer series paper. We have it in multiple ways. And I was saying to everybody yesterday, I need to increase my stash of birthday cards. So I want to make like a full collection of birthday cards as well. So thank you so much for watching today, and we will see each other tomorrow. And then if ever you have a chance, go see my card on Stamping Through the Catalog on Instagram, and try to participate at that challenge for sure. Bye-bye, everyone. Enjoy your day.